Hello. This month I read a book called Throne of Glass. The book is about a assassin called Selena. She is called up by the king to participate in a tournament in which she would be granted immunity against all of her crimes if she wanted. The tournament was between 14 elite thieves, murderers, and assassins. Everyone in the kingdom picked, every important person in the kingdom picked a champion. All in all, there was 24 champions. The prince picked Selena. Therefore, she was to travel to the castle and participate in the tournament. In the tournament, she would face up against giants like Cain and master assassins like Nox. But in the middle of the tournament, after a few duels, people suddenly started disappearing. And they were found just a few days later, dead, with all of their inmates spread across the floor with weird runes around their bodies. Just as this started, another person came to the castle, a princess with the name Nehemia. She came from the elf country of Aevil, which was a country conquered by the king of Adelan, which is the main kingdom in this story. She befriended Selena, and they became close friends throughout the book. Selena continues to participate in the tournament, fearing for her life, and one night when she can't fall asleep because she's scared of something coming and attacking her, she sees that there's something wrong with her wall. It's like it's flimmering. So she goes up and pushes through it and finds out a whole secret petal of tunnels system behind the castle walls. And she walks through one of the tunnels and finds a chest, a graveyard, with a king and a queen. She doesn't know who they are, but after looking at inscriptions, she found out that the queen was the first queen of all of Adelan, Elena. She also sees a sword, which she thinks about taking, but thought she wouldn't disturb the spirits. Later that night, when she finally falls asleep, the spirit of Elena comes to her and tells her she must win the tournament and defeat the evil in the castle within. She didn't know exactly what that meant, but didn't really care about it because she just wanted to win the tournament to get her freedom. Not really because she wanted to defeat some evil in the castle. She didn't really care for the king. But when the killings continued, she thought about maybe there was a correlation between the killings and this darkness in the castle. So she goes out to explore it. And in another cabin, she finds Cain, the big champion, feeding on one of the corpses of the other champions who just died, and she sees him petting a demon. Her first instinct is to run, but she wants to fight him. So she goes and attacks him. He easily defeats her, and she is wounded severely. She just managed to escape, and Nehemia finds her in a room with wounds all over her body. And Nehemia treats her wounds, and she's okay again after a few days, but now she knows who the evil is. The story ends with her fighting against Cain, and I'm not going to spoil the outcome of the final battle. So now I'm going to read a part of the story in the book. Chapter 1. After years slavery in the salt mines of Endovia, Selena Sardonian was accustomed to being escorted everywhere in shackles and at sword point. Most of the thousands of slaves in Endovia received similar treatment, though a half extra dozen guards always walked Selena to and from the mines. That was expected by Adalan's most notorious assassin. What she did not usually expect, however, was a hooded man in black at his side, as there was now. He gripped her arm as he led her through the shining building in which most of Endovia's officials and overseers were housed. They strode down corridors, up flights of stairs, and around until she hadn't the slightest of chance finding her way out again. At least, that was what her escort's intentions, because she hadn't failed to notice when they went up and down the same staircase within a matter of minutes. Nor had she missed when they zigzagged between levels, even though the building was a standard grid of hallways and stairwells. As if she'd lose her bearings that easily. She might have been insulted if he wasn't trying so hard. So that was all of my resume on the book. Now I'm just gonna give my final ratings on it. I think the story overall is really good, but sometimes there's some pacing problems where part of the story is easily read through while other parts is very long and drawn out. So, for example, there's a part of the book where she gets a dog, which is not really relevant for the plot, and they use multiple chapters on it, while other parts, like when she finds out that Kane is meddling with dark magic, it's only 2 chapters, which is like kind of weird that the main plot is as big as the side plot of the dog. Or even all of that, I still think it actually is a really entertaining book, and I would recommend if you liked that sort of fantasy novels.